Thank you, Manmohanji, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Pramod Maheshvary, Chairman and Managing Director of your company, and I will be chairing this meeting today. On behalf of Board of Directors of the company, it is indeed my privilege to welcome you all on 25th AGM of CP Capital Limited being conducted through video conferencing facility. To begin with, I hope all of you and your families are keeping well and safe. Though it would always be a pleasure to meet you in person, however, believe that this mode is efficient way of transacting business in the current fast-paced environment, and I look forward for your cooperation in smooth conduct of today's meeting. The company secretary has informed me that the number of participants on this video conferencing required for quorum of this meeting are present, and I therefore declare the meeting valid and open. I would now like to introduce you to my colleagues appearing on the screen. I would request each member to acknowledge when I introduce him or her, as the case may be. Let me now move with their introductions. First, Mrs. Divya Sodani, Independent Director and Chairman of the Audit Committee. Mr. Akshay Gupta, Independent Director and Chairman of Stakeholder Relationship Committee. Mr. Om Maheshwary, Executive Director and CFO of the company. Mrs. Nilima Maheshwary, Non-Executive Director of the company. Mr. Naval Kishore Maheshwary, Executive Director of the company. Mrs. Neha Garg, Independent Director of the company. Mr. Sanjay Khandelwal, Independent Director of the company. And Mr. Nikhar Jain, Independent Director of the company. Representative of Statutory Auditor, Mrs. S.P. Chopra and Company. Secretarial Auditor, Mr. Bharat Rathore and Associate and Internal Auditor, Mrs. BGD and Company LLP are also present in the meeting. Mr. Amit Gupta, Scrutinizer for e-voting process of this AGM. Before we proceed further, after a few compliances, I will talk about the key achievement of your company in the financial year 24-25. I will then talk about resolution which have been placed before you for approval. We have requested all of you to send your queries in advance on the business and proposal of AGM notice and other matters in the annual reports. In the video conferencing format of the meeting, we will respond to only those queries which have been received by us. So before I talk about the company business, let me just complete few compliances. Like I would also like to draw your attention that all the members that annual reports with company's audited accounts for the year ended March 31st, 2025, along with their directors and auditors reports have already been circulated to you. The notice of this AGM meeting has been with you as a part of annual report. I take the notice of AGM as read. The auditor report and the secretarial report do not contain any qualification, observation, or comments. I take the auditor's report and secretarial report as read. Ladies and gentlemen, the year gone by has been both significant and transformative for our company. Just a second. Yeah. Guided by the philosophy of legacy, focus, and future, we have navigated through change, built resilience, and set a strong foundation for sustainable growth. As most of you are aware, CP Capital Limited traces its origin to 2013 when Surgeon Capital Limited was established as an NBFC to finance educational infrastructure. The merger of Surgeon Capital Limited into Career Point Limited and then subsequent transition into CP Capital Limited with the fresh NBFC license from Reserve Bank of India was a defining milestone for the company. This move has sharpened company focus, enabled us to operate as a specialized NBFC with a clear strategy and strong identity. Today, CP Capital stands as a focused financial service platform carrying forward the strong legacy of Surgeon and Career Point. Our lending portfolio is well diversified and aligned to the evolving need of our customers. Dear ladies and gentlemen, FY25 was not just a year of structural transformation. It was also a period where we demonstrated resilience, and steady performance in a changing operating environment. Our core lending business delivered healthy growth with a net loan book expanding by 18.1% to rupees 394 crore in FY25 from 334 crore in FY24 after adjusting for NPAs. This reflects the growth demand for our credit solution and our ability to support businesses responsibly. Our net worth strengthened by 6.9%, rising from 383 crore in FY24 to 516 crore in FY25, reinforcing our strong capital base. At the same time, the total interest income grew by 14%, reaching to 56 crore in FY25 compared to 49 crore in FY24, reflecting healthy traction in the lending operations. The company delivered the net profit after tax of 40 crore for the year 2025. Together, these results reaffirm that CP Capital is firmly on the right path, balancing growth with prudence, profitability with discipline, and scale with sustainability. Looking ahead, we remain committed to deepening our presence in MSME financing and secure lending while delivering sustainable risk-adjusted growth. A key enabler will always be our digital transformation roadmap, moving from isolated technology use to the fully integrated loan lifecycle platform that will enhance efficiency, strengthen underwriting, and deliver a seamless customer experience. We recognize that our journey is about more than numbers. By empowering entrepreneurs, businesses, and individuals, we contribute to financial inclusion and long-term economic growth of India. By doing so responsibly, we create lasting value not only for our customers but also for our shareholders, employees, regulators, and society at large. As we move forward, our ambition remains clear: to build CP Capital into a trusted, agile, and future-ready NBFC, delivering superior value while upholding the highest standard of prudence and governance. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the board, I thank you all for your continued trust and support. Before I proceed to the resolutions, we have received requests from shareholders to speak. I will speak their name and I will request them to raise their questions. I request also to raise your hand, Mr. Kiner Mehta, so that I will be able to allow you to unmute yourself. If you are present, yeah. Please unmute yourself, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, just wanted to hearty congratulations on successful demerger, and I'm sure the CP group will go a long way creating value for each and every stakeholders. So just wanted to understand the non-core asset disposal plans and tentative value in that. I guess on balance sheet, almost 200 crores is stuck on that. So when do we expect that to get more productive, generating the returns? I mean, as you rightly stated in your annual report, that's a drag on our ratios. So change in that could be a very game changer in all terms. So can you throw more light on that? That's all from my side. And sir, a lot of the NBFC have never shared the wealth with their minorities investors. They've kept all the assets with them. I want to understand the candid view of the management in this regard. Thank you, sir, and best of luck, sir.
So let me take two more questions first because there are two more members. Maybe the questions may repeat going forward. Sure. Then I will answer all the questions. So next name is, just a second. Mr. Rishikesh Chopra, would you please raise your hand so that I can allow you to unmute yourself? Rishikesh Chopra. I think gentleman is not present. And if you are here, please raise your hand so I will take your chance again. And Mr. Gaurav Sood. I think both are not present, but Mr. Mehta, thank you very much for your questions and encouraging words. Your question is quite valid because the point, the CP Capital has come from a long history. It was an education institution, then an NBFC, and NBFC subsidiary, and then become an NBFC. So there are two category of assets, with the company. One category of asset which are just an investment in land parcels and certain buildings, which company is in process of monetizing. Just to share one particular assets, uh, like one of the land parcel in one of our subsidiary called Career Point Infra, we have partnered with the colonizer because most of the assets are in tier 2 towns, and usually the size of these lands are significantly large to have a direct transaction in the small cities. So it is always difficult to get that size of transaction in one go. So what we have done is we strategically partnering with either builders or colonizers and monetizing these assets. One of the assets we have already partnered with the colonizers, and uh, they have started developing the land. And from this arrangement, we expect around 20 crore over the next 2 years. Similar kind of efforts are being put for other assets also. Uh, the only challenge is to get the fair market value as we go along, and management is very serious and optimistic that we will be able to divest these assets in next 2 to 3 years time, as and when we get the fair value for these assets. Like all the shareholders, we firmly believe that these non-productive assets should be removed from the balance sheet as soon as possible, and the management is working on that. Your second question was in respect to uh, wealth creation for the minority shareholders. So we put a lot of stress on governance, transparency, and focusing on creating wealth for every stakeholder, not only the promoter but also the small shareholders. And we are putting our level best, and I believe that later and sooner everybody, including the promoters, will get the benefit of the businesses in which we've been doing responsibly and transparently. Rest is the market needs to decide. If you have any further question, I will ask you to unmute yourself again.
No, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your candid reply. And I'm happy and I to be part of this journey. We'll stay with you for next 5 years in this journey, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. We look forward for our shareholders to stay with us for lifelong. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a second. Now I will take the resolutions. So we will now briefly talk about the resolution proposed to be passed at the AGM. We have 7 resolutions for approval in this annual general meeting. The first resolution on the notice relates to audited standalone financial statement of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, together with the reports of Board of Directors and auditors. The second resolution relates to adopt the audited consolidated financial statement of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2025, together with the reports of Board of Directors and auditors thereon. The third resolution relates to appointment of Director Mr. Om Prakash Maheshwary, who retires by rotation. Fourth resolution relates to appointment of Director Mr. Naval Kishore Maheshwari, who retires by rotation. Fifth resolution is related to appointment of statutory auditor Messrs. SP Chopra and Company, Chartered Accountant. The sixth resolution related to the appointment of secretarial auditor Messrs. Bharat Rathore and Associates, Practicing Company Secretary. Seventh resolution related to approval for material related party transaction under Section 188 of the Companies Act 2013 and Regulation 23 of SEBI LODR, Regulation 2015. Since the meeting is held through VC facility and resolutions are put to vote only through e-voting, the practice of proposing and seconding of resolution is not being followed. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of the meeting. Before the conclusion of this meeting is announced. A few appointed point for me to mention as the last point for the meeting. The company has provided e-voting facility to the members of the company in respect to the business to be transacted at the AGM. The e-voting period commenced on September 25, 2025 and ended on September. Company Secretary, I would expect you to confirm this when it is ended. I think it is.
It is ended on 28th September 2025, but at the time of AGM, the shareholder can vote.
All right. Great.
At the venue.
Thank you. After obtaining the considered results along with the scrutinizer report of the electronic voting, the result will be submitted to the stock exchanges. The same shall also be uploaded on the website of the company, which is now www.cpcapital.in and NSDL. Members who have still not voted a resolution are requested to cast their votes on NSDL e-voting system. The detailed process of voting is mentioned in the notice of AGM. Let me remind you that voting will close after 30 minutes from the time of closure of this meeting. Before I hand over the meeting to the company secretary for vote of thanks, I ask if anybody still have any question. I would be more than happy to answer. Otherwise, over to you, Manmohanji. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of the company management, I thank all the shareholders for joining the meeting. I would also like to thank all the directors and other dignitaries present in the meeting. On behalf of CP Capital, I also gratefully acknowledge the consistent and firm support received from all the stakeholders, the regulatory agencies, business partners, and shareholders, including who are not currently present in the meeting. With this thank note and no other agenda pending, the meeting is declared as closed. Have a nice day. Wishing all of you good health and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, anyway. Now can we leave now?
Yes, sir.